Hey everybody, welcome to Country Girl. My name's Kathy Jarvis, and today we're going to talk about my pumpkins and my butternut squash, which we are now ready to put into long-term storage. So before you can do that, you have to, or you don't have to, but you should, cure the melons, the pumpkins, and the butternut squash so they last longer on the shelves. By curing them, you basically toughen up the skin around them, and this helps to keep the shelf life longer in the winter time. Now there's a few different ways that you can cure the pumpkins and the squash, and both of them, all three of them, take a little bit of time but not much work. One of the ways to do it is find a sunny spot and put them out there and leave them during the day. Throw a tarp over them at night. Take the tarp off during the day and leave them like this for about a week, and your skin should be tightened up by that time. Another way you can do it is place them in a warm spot like 80 to 85 degrees with 80% humidity and leave them in there for 2 weeks. And you can also bring them into a warm spot such as a greenhouse, enclosed porch, sunroom, or even a sunny place in the garden, and our windowsill, sunny windowsill, and leave them for about a week. Turn them over about a week to 2 weeks. Turn them over, leave them for another 2 weeks, and then they should be ready. Their skin should be hardened. Now, you can tell if the skin is hard by placing your thumb and trying to push in on it. And if you leave a fingerprint or if you leave a cut, then you know that they're not hardened. These I can push in and I'm not making any dent at all. So these are completely hardened and ready for long-term storage. So there's different ways that you can store your pumpkins. You can either store them like this, whole. You can cut them up and put them in the freezer. You can can them, or you can dehydrate them. Okay, the first way we're going to store our pumpkins is going to be whole. Now, you need to find a location to store them. You want to find a dark spot that's dry, between 50 and 60 degrees, and this might be in your basement or the garage, or even if you're in a warmer climate, a unheated garden shed. So the first thing you do is check your pumpkins well. Make sure there's no blemishes on them. Like this one, I will not be using that for long-term storage because of the hoe here. Make a great jack-o'-lantern. Okay, this one here I've checked over and it looks really well. So it's one for good storage. Now once I get these cured and washed and taken care of, and in a nice dry spot, they should last 6 months at least, maybe even longer, depending on how tough the skin is. So the first thing I'm going to do is wash it good, because these things have been outside in the weather, on the ground, and they're loaded with dirt and bacteria that you don't even see. So the first thing we're going to do is wash it really, really well. Okay, after you wash it, dry it well. As you can see, it was quite dirty. And one of the reasons to washing it well is because you may find damage underneath the dirt. So we're going to go ahead and process this one as if we were storing it, just to show you how to do it. After you've washed it, you dry it well, and then you got your choice between using bleach or vinegar. I prefer vinegar. I mix 1 part vinegar to 4 parts water. If you're using bleach, you would use 2 tablespoons of bleach to a gallon of water. And you simply spray and cover the whole thing with this solution. What this does is it kills the bacteria that's on here that you don't see and prepares it for long-term storage. So once you've sprayed that, leave it set for a second and then dry the whole pumpkin or squash again, completely dry. Now to go about storing these, you need to place them stem side down onto cardboard or straw, anything but the concrete floor. You don't want them on a hard surface or on anything that can be ruined if they do decide to decay. And you put them on a single layer, and you can also put them on a water shelf. Just make sure that they're a single layer and have air that can go between them. The butternut squash, I actually put newspaper around them to keep them separated. I can get more into the crates. You can store them in milk crates also. Now if you want to give them to preserve even longer to help keep the skin from rotting, I've heard that people can have used floor wax on them. They've sprayed them with acrylic spray, or they've used Vaseline on them. But what I like to use is just plain olive oil. Just put a thin coat of olive oil on them and leave that dry, and you'll help protect the skin from moisture and stuff. And that's all there is to storing a pumpkin or a butternut squash for long-term storage as a whole unit. All right, these are my, let's do that again. All right, these are my pumpkins for long-term storage. They are shiny because they've got the olive oil on them, and they're ready to be taken and put into storage. Now this is my butternut squash. And you also see it, they cleaned up nicely. They're wrapped in paper, every other one, so that you have them not touching each other, but they still let the air flow through the milk crate. I will be putting that into long-term storage, and these are done. So this is how you can store them for up to 6 months at a time as a whole pumpkin or butternut squash. So, I hope you enjoyed the video. Give it a thumbs up if you learned anything. Share it with your neighbors or your friends. Remember to hit the bell icon. Hit the subscribe button. That way you'll know when and hit the bell icon. Hit the... Alright. Thanks everybody for watching. Remember to share, like, and subscribe. If you already subscribed, thank you for watching. Thank you for being there. And remember to dream big and follow that dream. And I'll see you in the next video, and we'll show you maybe how to freeze these pumpkins for long-term storage. So everybody take care. Bye.